We're here today with Astrid Leslie, Briggs Communications Manager, Strategy and Client Services. Astrid, when it comes down to it, price is always a critical factor. So how much does building a crisis management plan cost?
You're right, James. Cost is always part of the conversation at some point when people are undertaking a project. So it's a really good question and one that we get all the time. So the answer, in short, is that it varies and it depends on a few things. So we provide crisis management planning services to a range of different clients, and the cost of the work can vary greatly to achieve the completed product from one client to another. For example, a small organisation might use our online DIY crisis plan generator to produce a crisis management plan for themselves for around $489 in around 30 minutes if they have the information at hand. At the other end of the scale, a large complex organisation might engage us on a crisis management planning project to produce a customised plan and this might cost tens of thousands of dollars and last over several months.
So what are the key factors that will influence how much a crisis management plan will cost?
So the top three influencing factors can probably be categorised as follows. Firstly, the organisation's level of maturity around crisis management. Secondly, the complexity and size of the organisation and the scope of the plan. And thirdly, the level of support and resources and level of customisation you require. So when we look at an organisation's level of maturity in crisis management, the sorts of things we're looking at are there existing arrangements in place? Is this your first foray into producing a crisis management plan for the organisation, or is this going to replace something, a system or a plan that's already there? Secondly, what's the history of the organisation? Has the organisation actually been through any crises? If so, how recently? What were the outcomes? And was an existing system, if there is one, was an existing plan put to work in those circumstances? Thirdly, what's the leadership position on crisis management? Is it recognised as being an important priority, or is it something that is relatively still unknown in the organisation? This is especially important when it comes to the executive support for the project. So number two is the size and complexity of your organisation and the scope of the plan. And that comes down to things like your stakeholder base. Who are they? How many groups, sort of key priority groups are there that are essential to your organisation's survival? And the footprint of your organisation and the plan. How many divisions, countries, sites does this plan need to cover? And thirdly, in that, the risk environment that your organisation operates in. What are the threats your organisation faces? How diverse are they? And what are the consequences related to those? So factor three, the level of customisation and support your organisation needs in the planning process. So this really comes down to DIY versus full service and support. Does your organisation need an expanded project with a crisis management specialist to come in and help you through a consultation period, develop a customised framework, develop the content, and provide resources to enable you to prepare the back end that inevitably goes along with developing a crisis management plan? Or does a simple basic online template suffice for you to populate in-house? As you can see, developing a crisis management plan could be a relatively short, inexpensive process for some organisations, usually small ones. And for other larger, more complex organisations, it'll usually be a more involved process. Of course, the easiest way to find out how much it's going to cost to develop a plan for your business is just to reach out and ask us. We can talk to you run through the variables in relation to your business and suggest a solution that'll fit your needs and your budget. Now, having said all of this about the cost to build a crisis management plan, I really need to also stress that the plan is only one part of an overarching crisis management program, and the plan itself cannot stand alone. Any plan to be successful needs to be embedded and supported with training, exercising, and in this day and age, absolutely adequate technology and system support from communication tools and cloud-based technology. If you don't undertake this work alongside the crisis management plan itself, really the plan is doomed to fail when you need it most.